Good morning, all. So, today we are going to start with the overview of TCP IP and what are the functions of different layer. In the previous lecture, we studied the different types of protocol and what is exactly the protocol and which layer are using the which protocol. Now, in the this lecture, we are going to take the some revision of the previous lecture as well as so what is the function of each and every layer. Okay, so before going to the work, as usual, the today's thought is take a risk in your life. If you win, you can lead. If you lose, you can guide. So very nice thought by Swami Vivekanand. Okay, so you in the your life you can try to take a risk. Okay, if you win, you definitely lead the world. If you lose, you can guide the others. Don't follow this path. Okay, so now back to the work. So what is exactly the TCP IP? So TCP is nothing but what? Transmission Control Protocol, and IP is nothing but Internet Working Protocol. So the Internet Protocol suits, it is commonly known as TCP IP, is the set of communication protocol used for the internet and other similar networks. So while transmitting the data from one place to another place, so it required different it goes to the different layers, and it form or it can be used by the different networks. Okay, so it is named from two of the most important protocol in it, that is nothing but transmission control protocol, that is TCP, and internet protocol, that is IP, which were the first two networking protocol defined in this standard. Okay, so these are nothing but the first two protocols. Now I think in the last semester in the computer network, might be you studied the OSI model. Okay, in the computer network there is a OSI model, and this is another one is a TCP IP model. So in the diagram you can see there, so in the OSI model there will be a total 7 layers, but in TCP IP model there is only 4 layers. Okay, so in the you can see the physical and data link, there are two layers, first two layers, physical and data link layer. These are combination of them, it is from the network access layer into the TCP IP model. So network layer, it's come in TCP IP model as a internet layer. So in the OSI model, transport layer, it is same as a transport layer in a TCP IP model. Now layer number 5, 6 and 7, that is session layer, presentation layer and application layer, the combination of it form the application layer. Okay, now we are going to see what is the function of each and every layer. So what exactly the function and how the data is get transmitted from one place, or you can say from the source to the destination. Okay, so we are going to learn first the application layer of the TCP IP model. This layer is comparable to the application presentation session layer of the OSI model, and it is combined into one. Okay, so what application is nothing but what combination of three layers, that is application layer, session layer and a presentation layer of the OSI model. Now it provides a way for application to have access the networked service. Okay, and it is widely known as it is widely known layer for the exchange of user information, right? So now suppose you are sitting on your PC, right, and you are filling the form. Okay, you are filling the exam form, and you are entering your all details in that form. Okay, so what happened exactly, there will be a one browser. In that browser you can open one website, and that website you can fill your data. So whatever user can interact with that PC or that browser, that is nothing but what application layer. Okay, so the user can interact with the particular object, or you can say the device, that is nothing but what application layer, right? Suppose you are sending the mail, so Gmail is nothing but what, it's come under the application layer. So it is widely known layer for the exchange of users information, right? Now While doing this, there are different protocols we can use. So in the previous lecture I also told you the different protocols. Okay, so in a application layer, the hypertext transfer protocol, that is HTTP, is used to transfer the file that make up the web page of the world wide web. So that I'll told you that if you are filling the one exam form, and in that exam form you are filling the different your details. Okay, so it is nothing but suppose www Mumbai, or you can see mumbaiuniversity.com. So in that website, that is nothing but what, their data will be transferred through the HTTP protocol. Okay, so now the next one is a file transfer protocol. It is used for the interactive file transfer. Suppose this is my PC, and my PC, one of the friends PC is connected into the LAN, right? So I am transmitting one file to him, so it take the FTP, that is a file transfer protocol. And another one is simple mail transfer protocol, that is SMTP. It is used for the transfer of mail, message and attachments. Okay, so if you want to transfer some mail or some attachments, some documents to some another person, what we are going to do, you are simply open the mail and type the mail and you can send the mail. So while for particular sending the mails or messages or attachment, you can use the simple mail transfer protocol. This all protocols come under the only application layer. Okay, keep in mind. Now you can see in the diagram, suppose there is a user, application layer and data to the transport layer. From here, user means suppose you or me, we are nothing but what, users, and we are suppose filling the exam form, that is nothing but what, in application layer, and that data, suppose I fill the application form and I submit, that data is transferred to the transport layer. Okay, so we are going to come, or we are coming towards the transport layer in further slides. Okay, now that transferred layer, and now this is nothing but what, sender. Suppose I am a sender, so user, application layer, so you are you can see in your right left side, that is application layer, data to the transport layer. Now that data, it's come to the another, or your wherever you want to send the data, that person's side, the data is come to the transport layer, from transport layer to the application layer, and then it is visible to him. Suppose you are sending the mail. Okay, so while sending the mail, you can send the mail, so it goes to the application layer to the transport layer, to the different layers. Again in this, your friends, where whom you are sending the mail, in his PC, from transport layer to application layer, and he can visible. Okay, so presentation layer does the encryption and decryption in a, and compression decompression of the data. This layer allows to process to add checkpoints which are considered as a synchronization point into the stream of data. So you'll come to know in the next slides. You can see here the OSI model and TCP IP model. Okay, so that I already told you that OSI model has the 7 layer and TCP IP model has the 4 layers. So I have shown here in the diagram the different protocols which can be used into the different layers. So in this diagram, you are very simply you can understand, in application layer, FTP, SMTP, DNS, RIP, SNMP, the telnet. Okay, telnet nothing but if you want to take a remote access of your of any device. Now in the transport layer, there is nothing but the transmission control protocol, that is TCP, and user datagram protocol, that is UDP. Okay, now in the internet layer, you can use internet protocol, that is IP, and in the last layer, that is network access layer, you can use Ethernet or token ring fiber. So this network access layer is nothing but the combination of data link layer and physical link layer. Physical link but nothing but what, physical layer is nothing but what, exactly, you are nothing but you are using the LAN cable or Ethernet, or you can say the fiber optic fiber cable. So this is nothing but whenever there is exactly the transfer of data through that medium, that is nothing but what, the physical link. So it's come under network access layer. Okay, so now after the application layer, there is a transport layer. Okay, so this layer act as the delivery service used by the application layer. So whatever the data sent by the application layer, okay, keep in mind what I'm saying, the data which is sent by the application layer, or we can access by the application layer, which the transportation of the that data is done by the transport layer. Okay, so this transport layer use the two protocols, that is first is a TCP and another is a UDP. So TCP is nothing but transmission control protocol and UDP is nothing but user datagram protocol. So the choice is made based on the application transmission reliability requirement. So now you in your mind the question arises, which protocol used at what time? Okay, so shall I use a TCP or shall I use a UDP? So it depends on the reliability requirement. So means transmission of the reliability means, if you want to send a fixed data, suppose there is a military application and you want to send the data confirm, so the data should be sent to the receiver confirm or it must be reached, then you have to use the TCP. And if you want to send UDP means, suppose there is a not compulsory the data should be reached or not. Okay, so transport layer has the handle all error detection and recovery. Okay, so in the transport layer, error, suppose there is any error, so error can be detected and also it can be recovered. Okay, so in the transport layer, error can be detected and recover. It is used the checksum, acknowledgement and timeout to control the transmission and end-to-end verification. Okay, unlike the OSI model, TCP/IP treats reliability as an end-to-end program. So means what? Suppose your data is reached or not, it depends on your, or it can be confirmed by the TCP/IP protocols. The TCP provide a one-to-one connection-oriented, reliable communication service. Okay, so TCP what I that explained you that TCP provides one-to-one connection-oriented means what? The first, it established the connection between you and your destination means, if suppose I am a source and I am sending the data to my one of the friends, so he is a destination. So first I will establish the connection between us. Okay, and then I will send the data means I will get the acknowledgement that yes, the data is received to your friend or received to the destination, okay, from the sender. So at that purpose you can use the TCP. So wherever the very important applications like military applications or some DRDO, some scientific applications, okay, at that time you can use the TCP protocol. Now UDP provides a one-to-one or one-to-many connectionless unreliable communication service. So if you are making the video call, so that is unreliable, sometimes some frames are missed, no problem. Okay, suppose you are talking on a voice call or you can make a video conferencing, teleconferencing, so if the few frames are missed in between, so there is not a big issue. Okay, so for that purpose you can use the UDP. Now from the data from the presentation layer, session layer, it is synchronized and it goes to the transport layer, and from transport layer again after synchronization from session layer, it come to the presentation layer into the TCP. So that is nothing but the combination of three layers into the TCP IP. So message is divided into segment and each segment contain the sequence number which enable this layer is a reassemble in the message. Now what happened in transport layer? The message is divided into the different segment and that segment has given the number, right? Now while received at the destination, might be it is not received in the sequence, might be fourth number will come first, second will come last. Okay, so that synchronization will be happen at the application layer, or you can say the session and session layer, and this message are reassemble and it can display the message. Okay, so the message is reassembled correctly upon arrival at the destination and replace the packet which were lost in a transmission. So there is some loss in the transmission and can be replaced. Now connection control, it includes the two types, so connectionless transport layer and connection oriented transport layer. So each segment in connectionless transport layer, each segment is considered as an independent packet and delivered to the transport layer at the destination machine. Okay, so every segment in connectionless transport layer, every segment is considered as a independent packet, so its packet is a independent and it is sent to the destination. But in connection oriented transport layer, before delivering the packet, connection is made. Okay, connection is made with the transport layer at the destination machine. So what happened before in a connection oriented, but first you have to establish the connection and then you can transmit the data. Now the next one is a network layer. In the network layer, this layer is known as a internet layer also. Okay, so don't confuse. Might you will say, sir, you told us that is a internet layer and now you are saying network layer. So network layer and internet layer both are the same. So the main purpose of this layer is to organize or handle the movement of data on network. So this is very important actually. Okay, so this layer is also use or organize the or handle the movement of the data on a network. By movement of the data, we generally means routing of data over the network. So now most of the time, suppose uh, now you are going to the from now we are sitting in a Valenishore and you are going to Mumbai. Okay, I am taking very simple example. Suppose you are sitting in Valenishore and you are going to the Mumbai. Now what happen? Suppose there are two routes from you can say Chiplun, like Pollard, Mahad and Panvel. You are going to the Mumbai Goa highway to the Pune, Mumbai, and another is from here, like a coastal way. Okay, from Dapoli this side. Now one of your friend is going through the Mumbai Goa highway like by the Mahad way, and suppose there is a traffic jam, right? Suppose there is a traffic jam, then what happen? He told you call you and don't, and he will tell you don't come by this way, take a another way. The same work is done by the this network layer. Suppose there are two paths for the from one destination to another destination. Suppose there are one source to destination. Suppose there are two paths. Suppose one path is busy. Okay, so your packet will be lost or your packet will be not delivered to destination, or might be it is delayed. Okay, so what happened? The network layer will transfer, or you can say take the shortest path as well as the path which path is not busy. Okay, so there will be a, you can say you can save the time in particular transmission. Now this layer is responsible for addressing, packaging and routing the function. This is also very important function of the network layer. Now if you are sending the packet, so exactly where you need to send this packet. So first the address, for that purpose address is needed. Okay, so how the address, now this addressing work is done by the network layer. Even packaging. Okay, so different you can your frame is divided into different packages or packets. And then the routing function, routing is nothing but so which path you can taken from source to destination, it's done by the network layer. Now the core protocol of the internet layer are ARP, ICMP, IGMP, IP. These are nothing but the core protocols of the internet layer. Now internet protocol is a routable protocol responsible for IP addressing, routing and the fragmentation and reassemble of the packets. Okay, IP addressing means you are providing the IP addressing for particular packets as well as routing, so with path it will take. Again fragmentation, reassemble of the packets, so if the packets are scattered and they again reassemble or assemble at the receiver side. Now next is ARP, the address resolution protocol. It is responsible for the resolution of the internet layer address of the network interface layer address such as a hardware address. Okay, so it is responsible for resolution of the internet layer address to the network interface layer address. Okay, next is Internet Control Message Protocol. It is responsible for providing diagnostic function and reporting the errors due to unsuccessful delivery of IP packet. Suppose if any packet is not received, okay, at that time it report the error to the receiver. This package is not received. So this Internet Control Message Protocol use. Now last is Internet Group Management Protocol. It is used for it is responsible for management of IP multicast group. Okay, so this multicast and all these things will come into the coming lectures. Now this is how the data is transferred. So from the transport layer it come to the network layer. So from transport layer it is the frames, and that frames is converted segments which are converted into the packets, and that again send over the data link layer. Okay, so again this is happen at the receiver side. Now what happen at the so this happen at the sender side. Now what happen at the receiver side? At the receiver side, the data link data packets from the data link layer, it's come to the, it receives to the destinations data link layer, and then network layer and the transport layer, so in the opposite direction. So in a translate logical network address into physical address. Okay, concerned with the circuit message or a packet switching. So it convert the logical address into physical address. Routers and gateway operate on the in the network layer. So whatever the routers, gateways, all these come into the network layers. Now exactly how the data will transfer from source to destination, that is shown here into the TCP IP protocol or TCP IP suite. So you can see the host, suppose this is me, okay, and you are sitting at your home and I am sending one message to you, suppose hi. So this what happened, so I am a host and you are the target, suppose. Or you can target can be a web server also. Suppose web server means, suppose I am searching the in Google, suppose what is the where is the Mumbai. Suppose I'm searching into the Google. So first what happen in the application layer, I mean the browser or in Google, I will type this word, okay, whatever I want to search, and this message will go to the transport layer. From the transport layer it go in transport it form the segments, again into the network layer it form the packet, and it will give the routing method or how with path, then IP addressing, logical addressing, and then it transfer over the data link layer, that is nothing but network access layer, and it transfer through the media, means it can be a ethernet or maybe a Wi-Fi or anything. So it can be transferred to that media, and at the receiver side or the destination side it is received at the data link layer. Okay, from the data link layer it goes to the network layer, from network layer to transport layer, and then application layer of this target or web server. So different protocols can be used in at the different layers. Now the last is the data link layer, or you can also say it as a that is data link layer, or you can also say it is nothing but your internet access layer. So data link layer is the most reliable node to node delivery of data. So node to node delivery of the data, it forms the frame from the packet that are received from the network layer and gives to the physical layer, right? So whatever the packet received, it forms into the frames. It also synchronizes the information which is to be transmitted over the data, and error controlling is easily done. Okay, so here in the diagram they have shown from the network layer it's come to the data link from the frames, again while receiving side it from the frames again converted into the packets. Now error control is achieved by adding the trailer at the end of the frame. Okay, the duplication of the frames are also prevented by using this mechanism. If suppose there is any duplicate frame or same frame is arrived, then it can be removed. Frames are the stream of bits received from the network layer into the manageable data units. So frames is nothing but what, the binary 1 and zeros, okay, which is received in the data units. This division of the stream of bit is done by the data link layer. Okay, now you can see the switch and bridges are used in this layer. So that in the previous lecture we are studied, that is a switch. Okay, so switch is come into this network layer, and now the connections cable is come, as well as the switches and the bridges is come under this physical layer. So this data link layer, in the network layer there is nothing but what, routers and gateways can be used. Okay, so now the last is the physical layer. So physical layer is the lowest layer of all. It is responsible for sending bits from one computer to another. So this layer is not concerned with the meaning of bits and deal with the physical connection. So this layer defines electrical and physical detail represented as a zeros and one. So this physical link layer just transmits the data from transmitting the data over the cables or over the Wi-Fi. Okay, so this layer defines the rate of transmission, which is the number of bits per second. So it nothing but the speed of the data defined by this layer. It deals with the synchronization of the transmitter and receiver. The sender and receiver are synchronized a bit level, and device must be connected using the following topologies like a mesh, star, ring, and bus. Okay, so this all come under the physical layer. So this is how the data is transferred through the physical layer. Okay, and in the physical layer, hubs and repeaters are used, deals with the baseband and broadband transmission. So this is what all about the this is all about the your layer functions. What are the different functions of different four layers? What are the exactly the work of each and every layer? So we'll take a short summary into the physical layer, sorry, into the application layer. So you can directly interact with the users. So transport layer, in the transport layer you can how the exactly the frames and sorry the segments should be transferred. In the network layer or in the internet layer, there is a routing, addressing, everything is done. In the last network access, there is a data layer and physical layer, combination of these, how the exactly that segment is converted into the frame, and that frame is again sorry packet is converted into the frame, and that frame is transferred over the physical layer using binary 1 and 0. The frame is nothing but in cell the binary is 1 and zeros. Okay, so this is all about the today's lecture. So might be in the next lecture we will take the live session. We will cover on a Google Meet or maybe a YouTube live, and we'll take a live session in the next lecture. So thank you very much.